Our first presenter is Alan Pardee. You saw Alan last night at the Rebel lecture stepping into the breach with his recently purchased flag that Andrew Brecker had originally submitted to the Minnesota State flag competition. Alan is a voracious collector, documenter, and analyst of all flags. If you zoom with him, you'll see an often changing array behind him. He is one of the founders and leaders of the Facebook group, U.S. State Flags, Current, Historical, and Proposed, which is tracking all the ferment in the flag world of states and producing new information about historical flags. So, and I would encourage you to be in touch with Alan on email because you have the special pleasure of seeing his image. He doesn't have his face, he doesn't have, he has a clock. So that's a good vexillological symbol. So, Alan Hardy.
So, actually, I would like to bring to you, all it concludes, it's been 6 years' work, a little project that we've been doing that really looks at state flags more in depth than I think anyone has done before. So, what we've been doing is using social media more so in this project than any other sort of more method of contact. So, I guess most of us have heard the impression that we're better state flags. But the question is, how do you get there? When we've been looking what's out there, you find them myriad of different designs. So many people actually love producing new designs and actually see a value in that. So problem, reaction, solution. What we have is a set of state flags for the USA. We have a known good group and a known underperforming group. The visual you'll see here is actually produced by looking. I think Min Tan has been doing an analysis of what goes into a flag and the symbology and what it detracts from putting too much into a flag about how it comes over. And then you can see all the blue bed sheets are pretty much by the basement as an F fail. We've seen in the past Robert Mars, circa 2015, actually produced a video about city flags. Last year, YouTube of CPG did his very well million views to his video of state flag critique. We've been doing is how you think about it, all that we got, maybe to how you get a solution about how you fix flags. So we've got a room set up called US State Flags, and in that we've had a look at what's been done as flag change in the past, the historic flag change, and during that period when the 2001 survey would have been done, 2018 when we pick up it as a project, only 3 flags, maybe 4 if you count Arkansas's specification change, had actually been changed. So as a group, Dean Thomas set the group up. We've got Nick Artemovich, Jim Berrigan, and myself as admin. We've got a situation where we want to be on Facebook. We will now use the emojis, those sort of indicators like, love, care. Those again is an image of 6 designs. So when we look at a certain project, we'll take little bites of it and make a little sort of a competition slide between 6 designs. So we can find the best one and that one and all of that. So really, we only have 3 projects out for CAT. Andy's Tennessee, New Mexico, and Colorado. So all the other states have been assessed in this method of bringing in people to the website and getting real people to vote on them, and taking those results halfway through to a place such as Reddit and getting their views, incorporating their votes into the final results. So Maryland's just been had a look at, and you won't see it here amongst the things that we've done, but when we will start a project, we'll start it necessarily in a different way. In June, we had a look at 16 flags that we'd never studied twice. Some of these states are now rolling around, looking at the second time. Something like South Dakota and Idaho. We're doing the second time run through with New York now. But all of these had only been studied the once before. So we've had a chance when we're going to set up a new project to do a little competition to find out where we're going to go next. So the project would kick off in a democratic situation around in the website actually wanted to see which one we change next. Again, when we start, we've chosen where we're going to go, we're going to have a look at the symbology. Because everyone wants to know what's really there and how the state reflects its best elements. And using state symbology and voting between state symbology, such as how we got that laid out there for Illinois, gives the people who are involved in the competition a little bit more insight about how they all feel about the state symbology, which ones rise to the top. So with about 38 different state symbols, we'll then start to look and deconstruct the flag. We've got a situation with the various iconographies and the colours, and we'll just again hone down, see what needs to be kept or what we can enhance. And then the redesigns that we'll look at, we'll actually pull virtually everything we can find. So if it's a design that's out there or it's been suggested, sometimes a design goes up on Reddit and you'll have a comment on it. And you say it's changed. Well, actually the red could be an orange because orange is the word that's like, and it's never been made in the past. I'll actually put that in the contest for the original design and an alternate. So when you've got a known situation of a flag that really shouldn't be changed necessarily, we'll still vote on it and see where it falls out, see what the thinking is behind what flag change should be. Ideally, good flags should say using more than 4 colours is not recommended. California's got 5. Which one of the elements are you going to start to lose? You're going to lose grass, are you going to lose the star? So something like this actually was able to sort out the designs that were going around and people's suggestions to any one particular theme, and you could see a certain theme that was restock the smaller first round heat with only those designs and then apply against themselves. So we've got in back of a cache of various different people putting together collections. So maybe some of these haven't got the symbology written around how their design was thought out, but you can get the essence of that. So I've got about 4,000 different images just to one side of people doing full collection. Then we'll work with those designs and we'll bring them in to Inkscape. We'll resize them. Typically, the whole collection will tier out at ratio 3:5. So anything that's other than that will get stretched or get reduced in size. And then we'll bring in all those designs in sort of a family scenario. So they all keep a similar sort of theme, maybe a wave, maybe a journey sort of approach, or those with text might off against all those others with text. That's a little snapshot of how Arizona contest came together. And then from Minnesota, because of Andrew's design, what we did, and this is honing in on the heat that he actually came up in. His first round heat, he played up with the other 5, including one of his own designs. And it advanced to a second round, and the third round is shown. Again, these are more or less random. After the first round of heats, only the winner will be advanced. Any of those that got at least 20% support would go into a wild card round, and that would be a dead heat. That would be a buffer, and you'd only get the winner advance. So if a winner advances, it goes back into the A group. So you've got an A group, B group. So you see this progression through the contest until, let's say, because we had so many designs from Minnesota, 1,000, we've put Andrews at this point here in a heat of 3. So it's only got 2 other contestants to go against. Then we've all of those 1,000 designs by that same process, voting for them, supporting them. And what we'll have here is a final 6. We do this typically for every contest that we run. The state we looked at, we've got a final 6. We'll put the item in Cityscape, see it. But again, that's a thumbnail. That's a thumbnail. All the designs, 6 designs on each thumbnail. 175 to find a contest. But once we've decided on it, we make it in fabric. And I've got half dozen so on the back table. We'll also photograph it and see if it's working. And if it isn't, like we had with Delaware, we've got a situation that it looked a little bit underpowered. So we just improved it by taking other boat, supplementary contest, putting the white star there, had it reprinted. It flew so much better. But this is the situation we've got. Had 4 state flags changed since our project started 6 years ago. So that's a big ramping up. I would suggest so much interest due to better state flag. 12 different states right now. There's some books of change, some description. So we've now got a pack of different designs that we produce, and we're rolling through that, refreshing those. So amongst other places, you'll see these designs. Massachusetts, first off, the winner there. Massachusetts, second winner there. Massachusetts, third winner here. So we're getting sometimes a different winner, different take on it. And we've taken these designs now to the state. That's all the stripy Sons of Liberty winners taken, as well as the mental type, to the Massachusetts state, or Tony Cabral. We've actually put that to them. So this is an indication now of what we've got. We'll see. The very first time we did a state flag test, we only had 56 designs in the contest. Because couldn't necessarily find so many who want to produce a redesign of Alabama. But nevertheless, the winner that came out was unlike the current salt time. So you've got a North Dakota up there with, I represent the 3 tribes, typical historical tribes of North Dakota. Down here, you've got Nebraska showing the Louisiana Purchase with the wagon train going across to the Oregon Trail. Oklahoma became a red sheet, and with that large symbol reduced to a circle with a star when historical reasons. So we progress now. We're now looking for a few hundred designs in tests to be. Now New York is 924 designs in a contest, and it's still expanding. If anybody wants to come to our website and put in new designs, still take amongst other things, we have indication that the New York state actually maybe historically have said we'll like to invite the NAVA flag design committee to have a look at the state flag. So we'll look at that within the smaller group that we're as flag committee, but also I'd like us, if possible, to bounce all of those ideas back on yourselves and see what else we can bring to the party. It doesn't necessarily need 20 million people in New York to do designs. It'd be nice to do. And sometimes it's a little bit like it will be when you've got so many designs to look at. If we could produce it, because we know about what makes a good flag, we could take that idea and probably fly with it. But thanks very much today for allowing me to open the proceedings. It's quite an honour. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much for allowing me. Have I been involved in British county flags? Unfortunately, not yet. It's a very closed business at the moment, Graham and Philip. Everyone's happy with the current set as it goes for English county flags. Scotland's a little different. I've put designs in, but I've only been awarded so far a quarter finalist position. One of 4 in a final so far. But, we all, from that side of the pond, we always like to produce a flag that has no text. It's concise, hasn't got anything other than the minimal symbology. And that symbology is very linkable. It appears and you see that flag. I hope that's the same sort of situation we hopefully see in the future. We'll find 1 or 2 pertinent symbolic symbology. All the rest can just be history. All those can be the state symbology of that state, but it needs to be.
Have you ever looked at the Canadian provincial flag? They need help.
The question is, have we looked at Canadian provincial flags? Yes, we have. In one instance, we have done a Canadian study for Ontario. The final vote, because we looked at, again, graded all Canadian provincial flags. We saw that Manitoba and Ontario were two of the likeliest worst flags, if you wanted to call that, needed the most help. So again, voted down democratically, and it was Ontario that said we were going to have a look at. So yes, we've got a green sheet with that French file sort of trillion sort of design as a large item. Brian and others were very adamant that we push for one symbol that utilize that situation, and it's such a beautiful flag. I haven't brought it here, unfortunately, but yes, we have more plans to do some Canadian. We have some Mexican, but we've got a house all Mexican.
Is there a way for you to distinguish votes from presidents of the state?
Unfortunately not. No, that's why I normally take it to Reddit, subreddit. So wherever we'll be going, like Arizona, I'll talk with the subreddit of Arizona. But yeah, please be in touch. Very happy to have any suggestions. We'll always be able to design up, even if it's a suggestion. If you're not very good at art, but you know what you need on a flag, we'll put that into the contest and we'll vote on that. Press those. Thank you.